Should we restart like with the intro and everything?
We are live. Welcome back. We had a very technical difficulties, Eric. I don't know. I think Eric is going to be challenging StreamYard to WrestleMania at this point. But I'm going to get back into my fantasy booking because that's. So, Eric, what's the last thing you've heard from me, or like?
So here's basically what I've gathered. Something happened with John Cena. I have zero clue. And then Vince McMahon said he's like tired of NXT. Shane McMahon looks like he got hit by a car. Blah 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 blah. Triple H owns NXT.
Okay, so John Cena got attacked by an NXT superstar, so there's that. Shane McMahon did get hit by a car. It was revealed later and during cameras that Triple H is the one that ran over Shane McMahon. And I forgot to mention that he put an NXT shirt on him to suck it. Then Vince went to go fire Triple H, but then Triple H said prior to Shane McMahon's accident that he had Linda sign over the rights to NXT to him. So he is now the owner of NXT. So now that's where I basically left off. So basically back and forth, they go back and forth, the attacks back and forth. And then Vince is like, you know what? We're going to have, this is still my company. We're going to have at Survivor Series a little contest. We're going to have different matches between Raw, the SmackDown, and NXT. Whoever has the most total wins at the end of the night takes over for the rest of time. They both signed a contract. So basically there's a bunch of matches, NXT talent versus WWE talent. And if you win, you get 1 point, and whoever gets the most points at the end wins. All right. So we start off with tag team match. Is Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. I mean, what are you looking at me like that for?
Strange match, team ups, that's all.
Oh, well, I didn't want to put like Io Shirai and Zoe Starr. I don't fucking care about Zoe
But
Starr.
that's exactly.
I don't care about her.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Cody's fantasy.
Yeah,
obviously.
And of course, Bayley and Sasha win. Bayley wasn't really much help. Sasha really controlled this match. They basically took both of them out single-handedly. So now WWE is up 1-0. The next match is Big E Langston. No, he's still Big E. He's not Langston. Yeah. Versus Samoa Joe. The hard-hitting affair, but ultimately Samoa Joe picks up the win. The next match is let me see. I have it ranked, but I had to change one. So let's see. All right, the next match is the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and the Usos versus Imperium, Walter and the two schmucks. I don't know their names.
Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner.
I would say that Eric is probably one of the top 5 people that only know their names.
I only know Fabian Eichner because he was from the Cruiserweight Classic, and that's it.
So basically, and then surprisingly, Imperium picks up the win. So it's now 2-1. What?
Who pinned who in that match?
Good question.
Walter pinned Roman Reigns.
Stop.
Damn, I was hoping you'd say like something random like Marcel Bartel pinned Roman Reigns.
I mean, dumb as Roman Reigns is, Walter was champion for over 2 years.
Just keep going.
Just because you don't like the matchup, doesn't mean you can't like the fantasy book, you cunt. All right, so now it is currently 2-1. Okay, so next is Roderick Strong versus Finn Balor, a match we've probably seen a couple times. Match where I think they have they? Because Finn was in the
when Finn Balor came back to NXT.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So at the end of the day, Finn Balor wins, so it's 2-2. So the next match, it's now Becky versus Dakota Kai. And of course, Becky wins. Come on.
I felt like a personal attack, honestly.
I basically put Dakota Kai in.
Yeah, I know.
So,
You're just trying to make me hate you.
So 3-2, and then the last match before our traditional 5-on-5 is Charlotte Flair versus Raquel Gonzalez. and Raquel Gonzalez beat Charlotte Flair. So it's 3-3 right now going into the final match. This is winner takes all. So Team NXT is Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, and Tommaso Ciampa versus Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, and Sami Zayn. So,
Sami Zayn.
what's wrong with Sami Zayn?
Very random.
He's a WWE superstar. How's that random?
Just keep going.
You complain a lot. So basically, it comes down to there's two people left from each side. It's Gargano and Ciampa DIY versus Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. So AJ Styles hits a phenomenal forearm to pin Ciampa. So Johnny versus AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins turns his back on Team WWE, curb stomps AJ Styles. Johnny Gargano wins, and NXT wins the whole thing. And then we end the night with the Click. Fades to black. NXT wins.
All right.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's NXT versus WWE. Winner take all.
All right.
All right, so it's my turn. So I had a Big E heel turn. So here's how I did it, because obviously, like, the turn itself is only like one moment. So what I did, so my timeline is the night after is this year, the night after Hell in a Cell through SummerSlam. So it's about 2 months. So I did the turn, but then I kind of also just extended it into Big E's first like official program, just so it's not like this is the turn and that's it. So a little bit of context, because obviously the turn is going to revolve around the New Day. It has to. So in the context of this, Big E, as you would expect me to book, he's not saying anything heelish. He's not acting heelish. He's just kind of, it's showing on his face that the kind of the goofy antics of the New Day are starting to irk him a little bit. He's trying to be a little more serious. So then we come to, and I kind of edited not the timeline, but I switched some events around. So the night after Hell in a Cell in my version is when the draft starts. And the draft begins the Raw after Hell in a Cell. Big E gets drafted from SmackDown to Raw. Woods and Kofi aren't eligible to be drafted today. So Big E's at Raw, and Kofi and the New Day, Kofi and Xavier are also still on Raw. So they're all excited. They're all together. They have a 6-man tag in the main event against Jinder, Veer, and Shanky. And Veer almost killed them all, but eventually the New Day did somehow beat them. They had to isolate Veer because he's so good. But yes, they win. Then they go to SmackDown for draft night 2. And Kofi and Xavier, as they did, they get drafted to SmackDown. So, but now I wanted to keep the draft similar to how they had it. So the draft rosters don't go into effect until after the next pay-per-view, which in this case is Money in the Bank. So fast forward to SmackDown before Money in the Bank. Paul Heyman's in the ring with Roman Reigns, and they're cutting a promo just about how good Roman Reigns is, and Paul decides he's going to call down the 4 SmackDown members of the Money in the Bank ladder match, which this year were Big E, John Morrison, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Seth Rollins. So he calls them down. He says, now look, one of you might win the briefcase on Sunday, and that'd be great for you. However, you might then get the thought in your head that you want to cash in on the tribal chief. And I just want to let you guys know that if you have the audacity to cash that briefcase in on the tribal chief, it's going to be the biggest mistake of your career. You know, a typical Paul Heyman heel manager, don't fuck with Roman Reigns promo. So we get to Money in the Bank, and the ladder match kicks off the show, and Big E wins, as he did. He wins the briefcase. The New Day joins him in the ring. They're also happy. And then later in the show, we get a backstage interview, as they do with the Money in the Bank winner. It's him with Xavier and Kofi, and he's cutting a promo about how excited he is to have won the match, how much it means to him, and how he can't wait to pick the right moment to cash in, become champion. But the whole time while he's doing it, the New Day, they're behind, as they do in all their interviews. He says, Big E is like, I don't care who is champion. And they're like, who? And Big E, again, he's not yelling at them. He's not being like, hey, shut up. He's kind of going like, guys, come on, like hold it down a little bit, So he's not outright saying it's pissing him off, but you can tell on his face that's kind of still bugging him a little bit. So then Paul comes in towards the end of the interview. He's, oh, Big E, congratulations, great job. And they all three of them are kind of staring at Paul like, hell do you want? He's like, oh, I don't want anything from you two. I was wondering if I could have a quick word with Big E and Big E. They look at him. Big E's like, oh, it's all good. I'll catch up with you guys later. Just you guys go ahead. And then so Paul's like, yeah, great job. This is a huge accomplishment. I just wanted to reiterate what I said to you on Friday, but for you it's a special case because I know you view yourself as a top guy, and obviously beating Roman Reigns makes you a top guy. But I want to give you another perspective on this. If you were to cash in on Raw, first of all, you're going there. So if you were to cash in on Roman Reigns, you'd have to come to SmackDown, and you'd be with them. And Biggie's like, what's that supposed to mean? And he says, I think you know exactly what I mean, but just in case I need to spell it out for you, I think you need to spend a little bit less time worrying about the man who's at the top and worry about who is holding you back. And then he walks away, and Biggie kind of looks a little bit befuddled by it. So Money in the Bank goes on. Kofi actually beats Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. Crowd goes crazy. New Day goes crazy, as they did. And then in the main event, it's Roman Reigns versus Edge, just like it was. I tried to keep this as accurate as possible to how they did it. And Roman wins. And Roman stands tall. He's celebrating. And then the New Day's music hits. Big E comes out and Kofi and Xavier, they're following him. He's got the briefcase. He has a face-to-face with Roman holding the briefcase up. He hands the briefcase to the ref. And as the ref's going to, give it to the timekeeper, Big E turns around, picks up Kofi, hits him with a big ending. And Roman kind of looks a little bit shocked. Paul looks shocked. Paul has the face he did when Brock pinned The Undertaker. He's like, oh my God, like he's super shocked, but he's super happy. And, Woods can't believe Woods is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So Big E takes Woods out. And then, Roman and Paul, they can't get out of the ring fast enough. It's like, oh, sweet, like let's get the hell out of here. So he cashes in on Kofi. He hits one more big ending, wins the title to close the show. The crowd's booing him like crazy. Next night on Raw. So now the new roster's going to effect. So Big E's on Raw, the New Day's on SmackDown. So he cuts a promo. He's like, you want to know why I did it? Like, I did this for you people. Did you really want? He starts naming off the great champions, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino. Does Kofi Kingston fit it? Does he fit in that club? He doesn't. Like, you guys know Kofi Kingston. He probably, if I didn't do what I did, he probably would have marched out with the belt painted pink with a unicorn horn in the middle and the side plates replaced with pancakes. I did what I did to maintain the integrity, the prestigiousness of this title. And the best part is those two are on SmackDown now. They can't touch me. And then so we skip to SmackDown, and to open the show, the New Day has a tag. Xavier, I keep calling them the New Day, even though it's just the two of them. So if I say New Day, that's what I mean. Kofi and Xavier open the show with a tag team match against Angel Garza and Berto Carrillo. And from their entrance, you can tell that they're in a different mood state. They're pissed off. They're not having it. They squash Carrillo and Garza super quick. Get them out of the ring. They get their mics. They cut a promo on Big E, pretty much saying like, we tried to put ourselves in your shoes as much like we want to defend you and say, if we were in your position, we would have also cashed in on Kofi. But the thing is, like, New Day was never about individual accolades. It was never about championships. This was three guys that helped each other from the depths of mediocrity to become main eventers, to become stars. And 7 years of brotherhood, and you turned your back on it. And they're saying they can't believe you would stoop so low. And just because we're on different brands doesn't mean we can't still get our hands on you. So you better watch your back. So then we go next. So now we're going to skip a couple weeks ahead. We're now 2 weeks out from SummerSlam. Big E comes out to gloat in the main event segment. He's like, because he doesn't have an opponent yet. He's like, come on, I've only been champion for 3 weeks and everyone's already too afraid to challenge me. This is ridiculous. Am I really that good? I guess I am. And then Kofi comes out from the crowd, attacks him from behind. They get in a brawl. They get a good old fashioned locker room pull apart where half the locker room is holding back Big E, half of them are holding back Kofi. And then as things calm down, the ring clears. But then Kofi does one more dive over the top and takes out everyone at ringside, gets in the ring, grabs a mic, says, hey, Big E, I hear you don't have an opponent for SummerSlam yet. Well, I'm standing right here. And he says, we're out of time tonight, but I'll be on SmackDown on Friday waiting for you, waiting for your answer. So we get to SmackDown. Kofi gets in the ring. He says, all right, Biggie, where you at? Come see me face to face. I challenged you. Come be a man and accept it. And then Biggie appears on video. He's not facing Kofi. He accepts the challenge. He says, I'll accept your challenge. He says, why don't you come to my neck of the woods on Monday Night Raw this week or next week, and we'll make it official. So on Raw, they come for the contract signing. Kofi's sitting at the table. Adam Pearce comes out with the contract. He says, oh yeah, so Big E was kind enough to read it and sign it this morning. So yeah, all we need, so he's not here. All we need is for you to sign it, and we're all good. So Big E's still not facing him. So Kofi holds the contract. He grabs the mic, cuts. I'm not going to go verbatim, but essentially the highlights of the promo he cuts are, who the hell even are you anymore, Big E? You went from the muscle-bound, fearless enforcer of the New Day, and now you're too scared to see me face to face. You walk around like you're some kind of champion, but all I see is a pussy. And then he signs the contract. So now SmackDown, the go-home SmackDown before SummerSlam, the New Day has a tag team match. Of course, Big E crashes the party, hits Kofi with a big ending to cause the DQ. And this is the main event segment. So causes the DQ, grabs the mic, he says, Kofi, I can't wait for our match at SummerSlam, but I'm here to make sure that the playing field is as level as it can be. So I'm here to do one thing, and he destroys Xavier Woods, so that Xavier can't be in Kofi's corner at SummerSlam. And then he destroys Xavier, ends it with a big ending from the apron to the floor, grabs the mic, says, see you on Sunday, Kofi. And then it ends at SummerSlam where Big E squashes the shit out of Kofi Kingston. And I could go on, but I didn't. But since it's just a heel turn, I just wanted to cover the first program. So Big E destroys Kofi at SummerSlam.
All right.
All right, Dom, let's hear yours that you're still writing.
I'm not writing. I'm just trying to find out that. Second, where is he? What's his name? Who's the head guy from the factory?
QT Marshall.
There you go. That's all I needed. All right. So, yeah, spoiler. So, we start after Full Gear. We start off the Full Gear. Kenny Omega wins against Daniel Bryan at Full Gear, right? And during the show, QT Marshall, because Don Callis spilled coffee on him, pushed Don Callis down. And Don Callis is written out, and everyone is pissed that next week on Dynamite. Stop, Cody. Next week on Dynamite, they sue the shit out of the factory. The factory is dead. They're still alive, but they're dead.
Obviously, no.
Yeah, but yeah, there you go. But then everybody's happy, and they go back to the locker room, and of course I gotta take a piss real quick, and he's like, I can't hold myself, and Kenny's like, go ahead. So he runs to the public bathroom, right? And he takes a piss. He's like, by the urinals, of course, because he when he pees. And all of a sudden you hear a door open. You hear some cowboy boots sit beside him, and he looks over. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "I gotta take a piss too." And then he's like, Adam Cole, just remember, Kenny will do the same thing he did to me. He'll do the same thing to you. He's like, "Oh, whatever. You're not super elite." And then he looks back to Adam Cole, Adam Hangman, but Adam's not there anymore. The next week, on Dynamite again, Super Elite cut another promo, and all of a sudden you hear the cowboy coming. Adam Page is here, and he said, "Hey, Tony Khan told me I can challenge you for the next. I have the number one contendership for the title. Yours, Kenny, of course." But he said, "Well, you know what? I can wait. I waited this long. I think I can wait a little longer. So I want to offer for the title to Adam Cole. So next week on AEW Dynamite, Adam Cole versus Kenny Omega for the AEW Championship." And Kenny's like, "What? No, I will not have it. What? You can't make the rules." And Adam Cole's like, "Okay." He's like, "Okay." And everybody's chanting, "Yes, yes, 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 yes." Everyone is shocked. Everyone's pissed. So next week, the Good Brothers, before the main event, of course, they beat the Acclaimed. Beat them pretty easily, just squashed them.
Go Good
Easy
Brothers.
Exactly. After the match, they find a tape recorder outside the locker room, and when they play it, it's the Young Bucks talking crap about them, and he's like, "Young Brothers are good brothers, but they are nerds," and then they laugh, but then they're like, "Ah." And but they're still disappointed. Then Kenny Omega and Adam Cole would have the match, and the Young Bucks would be ringside, right? And Adam Cole was about to win it, everything, and then Matt Jackson actually fucked it up, and Kenny was able to get the one in range or so. Essentially, the Matt Jackson and Nick really cost Adam Cole the match. But Kenny, and they celebrated with Kenny. They hold him on the shoulder. They're celebrating like they won the world title. And Adam Cole, no one's there for him. He's looking like, well, what the hell am I doing here? The next week, you see Adam Cole pretty distraught. He's talking to a therapist. He's laying down, and he's like, you know what? I don't even know what to do. The camera pans out. It's Britt Baker, and Britt Baker's like, I'm just a dentist. I'm not a therapist. She just walks out, and he's like, Adam Cole's like, well, I have no one. I'm so sad. Meanwhile, that happening. You see backstage, videos or whatever segments of Brandon Cutler getting coffee and donuts for the super lead, and it's just making it very difficult. And then you see Chuck Taylor. So I was like, you know what? They're not very good friends. He's like, well, these guys give me everything. They give me my job. I'm like, you know what? You're good enough to be with us, with the AEW roster. Don't you think you were giving a hand up because you're friends? No. And then during another Super Elite promo, they were just berating, oh yeah, Kenny Omega's the best champion. The Young Bucks, the best tag team in the world. Adam Cole's in the corner all sad. He's like, Adam Cole, baby. They can't come up with anything. They just say Adam Cole. And then they say, oh yeah, Michael Nakazawa and Brandon Cutler, they're the best at cleaning, best at delivering coffee on time, best getting donuts. And then the Good Brothers, well, they're Good Brothers. And then the Good Brothers are like, you know what? I want to call out somebody. The Young Bucks, you guys have been acting like real dicks. We heard what you guys said about us. It's like, yeah, that's not cool. And then Adam Cole grabs the mic out of the Good Brothers' hands. He's like, you know what? You're right. Why'd you guys cost me the title match? I thought we were supposed to be a family. And then Kenny's like, whoa. We just need to calm down. And then QT Marshall returns with the factory. The factory attacks the Super Elite, and the factory dies again. And they get rid of for the couple next weeks. Then they're at a group therapy session. All of them. There's a big hall, and all of them are just have their own sofa, leather sofa, and they're just on a circle. And in the middle is Teddy Long, and Teddy Long. So he's like, you know what helps with all of y'all going to have a tag team match tonight. Adam Cole and the Good Brothers again versus the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and everybody gets out of the sofa, and they're like, what? Yeah. So that actually happens, and excuse me, let me my notes. And the Elite, which is Omega and Young Bucks, they beat them, but the match help them fighting out the differences didn't really work. And then all of a sudden, Kota Ibushi comes out and just walks to Kenny and gives him a hug. And Kenny's like, what the hell? And it cuts to black. Next week, Kenny's confused. He's cutting a promo himself. And then the Young Bucks come out. He's like, why are you out here by yourself? And Kenny's like, you know what? Kota Ibushi is something different. I got to deal with this myself. And they're like, yeah, Young Bucks like, you know what? Don't abandon us for Kota like you did a few years back. Because we remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. They make that joke for some reason. And then Kota comes. Kota's like, I'm not here to challenge you. I'm proud of you as a champion because I want to tag team with you again. Because I know my style has been very reckless, and I don't know how many years I have left wrestling, and I want to spend some of them with you, my best friend. And they just look confused, and then Coda is like, "Hey, do you guys want to face us?" And then Young Bucks are like, "No, because Kenny is our friend." And then Coda's like, "No, my friend." And then they just say, my friend," the whole time. And then the next segment announced the Golden Lovers against the Young Bucks. They tore the house down. Ibushi, before that, Ibushi and Kenny will have a tag team match beating the Hybrid 2. They will have fun tag team wrestling again. It was a great match. And when the Young Bucks and before the Young Bucks and the Golden Lovers would face, there's a promo package of Adam Cole drinking, and there's just like it's a segment of them like drinking, having fun, like hitting on girls, and then getting smacked. It's just them having a fun time drinking and being the boys, and they bond a lot. Adam Cutler is playing video games with Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Euler, and he's having fun there. Nakasawa is still cleaning those bathrooms with the toothbrush because the Young Bucks told him to. So he's still doing that. Then Don Callis is still in the hospital. So the Golden Lovers would beat the Young Bucks. And then Kenny Kota Ibushi's like, you know what? I got what I wanted. Then he leaves. And then Adam Cole comes out. He's like, you know what? You have changed. And now I want to face the Kenny. Because the Kenny before that I didn't like. Now I want to face the Kenny I like. Because the Kenny I want to face the Kenny that I respect, not the Kenny I don't respect. I don't want I don't like seeing the Kenny who's all about himself. Don Callis, the Young Buck, this is not the Kenny I got to know. And then Omega, you know what? Sure, fine. Let's have it out. At Revolution, they would have a classic match. I'm talking about 6 stars. And Kenny Omega will hit the one-winged angel. 1, 2, not 3. Hangman Page kicks out. Everyone is going ballistic. Buckshot Lariat. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole is the new champion.
Wait.
Wait.
Who was fighting Kenny Omega? You said Adam Cole in the beginning.
Oh, my bad. Oh, my Hangman.
You said Adam Cole in the beginning. So when he
okay, my bad.
Hangman.
Hangman. Sorry. Hangman is facing him. Yeah, and then he wins the championship, and then Kenny, he kind of goes on his own thing. The Young Bucks are still with Nakasawa. Then Nakasawa was like, I quit. Then he quits. Brandon Cutler's with the Super Fans. Adam Page and Adam Cole are a tag team now, even though Adam Hangman has the championship. And the Good Brothers never show up on AWTV again. There you go.
Oh,
what a good ending.
All right. So let's vote.
All right.
I don't have paper, so I'm just writing.
This is bad because I didn't like either of the stories.
All right. When we're all
actually, I don't even
good.
know. Fuck no.
I'm good.
I'm not, because I thought first I was like, okay, how Eric booked it, I would never booked it like that. And then Cody was just.
That's because you love the New Day.
Because why?
Who the hell's Big E gonna turn heel
on?
Also,
Don hates my story from the jump.
Why can't the New Day turn with them? Why does this not work?
Because it was called the Big E heel turn, not the New Day heel.
Doesn't mean they can't turn with them.
Yes, it
all right,
does.
Dom, just put your vote. Dom, put your vote, and then we'll discuss.
Oh, okay.
All right, Dom, you ready?
Yeah.
Are we doing it one at a time, or?
I'll do one. I'll go one at a time. I'll go first.
Right.
One was a decent story. One was the worst booking we've had so far.
Oh my god.
So my vote's for Eric.
Mine was not the worst.
Dom, you're all over the place.
I was all over the place.
Should I go?
Booking itself.
Sure.
Or do you want to explain a little more?
I just like so like Dom's was like so like I was confused because he said at the last
there's so many Adams.
But then, like, I don't understand, like, the last part when you're like, I don't want to face this Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
Like,
he
why
did.
would he ever do that though?
And
So
why
he's just
would
gonna turn
and
on-
why would
he's gonna
and why
turn-
would Biggie ever get upset about the New Day turning being he's probably one of the more silly ones. So
I don't know. That wasn't my story.
It's fantasy booking. That's just how it is.
But
Okay,
at
so
the
Dom,
same time, I
okay,
feel
so
like
Dom
Dom
voted.
tried
Okay,
to-
so Dom voted for Cody.
I
didn't
also
say
thought
that.
Dom tried to make it a little too funny.
That's what I always do. It's
With
supposed
the
to be.
bathroom, with the bathroom stuff. Come on.
Yeah. I'll just go because I wrote my vote like probably 7 or 8 minutes ago. As soon as Dom said therapy, and then I'm a dentist. I'm not a therapist. Cody.
What the hell? I voted for
Dom.
Eric because both stories kind of sucked in my opinion. With like the second
Come for
half.
the worst story out of both the three.
No, I disagree. My
Yes,
story.
Dom.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I love my story. I thought my story was really good.
Oh, I don't know. So
It just didn't
I
make
got
much sense
confused,
to me.
Eric. I got confused with you because you said SummerSlam twice.
Did I?
I thought
It was supposed to be like night after. So like night after Hell in a Cell is when it starts. Then Money in the Bank, Kofi wins, Biggie cashes, and then it ends with SummerSlam. But SummerSlam was only 5 seconds.
twice, so I was confused.
Did I?
thought
Oh, okay.
I thought the SummerSlam already happened. So when you said
Oh, no.
SummerSlam, I was
No,
really
no, literally,
confused.
SummerSlam was the one sentence at the end where I was like, Biggie destroys it at SummerSlam.
And I think in Dom's one, I think I heard the name more. think I heard the name Cutler more than Omega in this whole story.
What's wrong with Cutler?
He's a comedy flunky.
Yeah,
Dom,
but he's
Dom,
part of
Dom,
Super League. You
Dom,
gotta play.
Dom, you almost won my vote by saying the Good Brothers should never on TV again.
Well,
Only if you said they died right there.
they get beaten and then they just never show up again.
Yeah, I didn't want to book mine too far, but mine was gonna end with Biggie murdering both Kofi and Xavier because they're annoying as hell.
And Biggie's part
Obviously,
of
we're
the
kidding. Obviously, we're kidding, but
No. In my reality, in my fantasy, he's not part of the New Day anymore. He turned heel on them because if you want max heat on your heel, then you turn them on the people that everybody loves, and you want to keep ratings up. So you keep. No, I told you the reason.
What's the
Dom
reason?
just loves the New Day.
I'm just saying, like.
No,
like,
Dom, you used to love the
was
New Day.
annoying.
You
No.
love the New Day.
If you don't
And
like
when he
the
said
New
like,
Day,
Kofi
Eric doesn't like the
was
New Day.
like,
Eric, you might
Kofi
not
was,
watch
and
that.
he was like, oh, Kofi's gonna be all silly when he's the WWE champion. He already was the WWE champion. He wasn't silly like that. So what's
Dom, Biggie's a heel. He's a heel. Heels are inherently exaggerative and delusional.
doesn't mean they can't make sense because some of the best
It
heels do make
makes
sense. That's what
Dom-
makes a good heel.
In a perfect world, the New Day would be married in Dom's eyes.
Stop.
holding hands.
No.
I hope one day they break up.
In a perfect world, the
It
New
never
Day would
will.
hold every championship except for the dozen that CM Punk holds.
The New Day will never break up.
I should have just said Biggie didn't turn heel. CM Punk came and joined him.
Okay, but let's just get into this conversation real quick. But you like that the New Day is puts their foot down, they'll never break up, right?
Yeah, that's what they should be. Yeah.
No, they shouldn't. What's the point of wrestling stables if there's not breakups and fucking blindsides? Every stable breaks up.
Why can't a stable not break up?
So you're saying
Because it gets very stale.
Yeah,
And they haven't been stale, in my opinion.
Yeah, they have.
To you, they have, not to me.
I'm not going to say in a general sense that the New Day have gotten stale because there are still a bunch of people that really like them. But in case this is news to anybody, I'm not the only person in the world that has gotten really sick of the New Day. A lot of people have gotten really sick of the New Day, but again, a lot of people aren't.
But Dom, so you would be very pissed if Biggie turned on the New Day.
Yeah.
Would you hate Biggie? Would you be mad at him?
I wouldn't
But
be
that's
mad
like
at him
me-
because you're not supposed to like heels.
because it was the creative choice.
Yeah, but that's like me being mad. The Shield's my favorite faction ever. That's like me being mad that Seth Rollins turned on them. It's wrestling. I know that's what's going to happen.
It's supposed to make you mad because you're not supposed to like the heel.
But I feel like that one would make more sense. That made more sense.
Why? No.
Why? Because they had a heelish nature to begin with.
The New Day came out as heels.
They weren't heels.
The New Day
like,
got the New Day didn't they came out as babyface, but they
came out babyface, but everybody hated
but they got
them,
but
so-
they were not over at all as,
They were
as
obnoxious
babyface.
heels.
They
They
got
weren't,
themselves
like-
they got themselves massively over as heels.
They weren't like mercenaries though. Like the Shield was. Like they were. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Brotherhood,
feel like
they're
I just feel like every stable, like I feel like if there's no friction in a stable, I feel like it really gets boring very quickly. It's okay. Dom's still 10 years old. He likes some pancakes.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie. I got very sick of the New Day really fast. I love them as heels because I think they're super optimistic gimmick works a lot better when it's a sarcastic heel gimmick. But so I got really sick of them really quickly when they turned back babyface. But I actually did briefly get very interested in them when they started feuding with the Wyatt family when Braun Strowman debuted, when Xavier Woods was like teasing that he was gonna like turn his back on them and be like, you know what, you guys fight the Wyatt family, I'm not gonna do it. So I was like, oh shit, I can't wait to see what they do. But then they all stayed together, and 5 years later, here we are with the same thing.
Yeah, cool.
Dom
I
has a.
I wasn't just saying that randomly. Yeah, I wasn't just saying that random. I was saying that to like like give credibility to what Cody was saying is like there is friction with factions is what makes factions interesting. Or not only what makes factions interesting, I shouldn't say that, but it's part of what makes factions
it's
interesting.
a big part of
But
it.
it's part
Though.
of
It's a
what
big
makes
part of it
factions.
when they're.
It's a huge part of what makes factions interesting.
I feel like
It's when there's
I
friction.
feel like factions be interesting when they face struggle together, which they have.
But they're not anymore because they're literally separated. They've been separated for about a year now.
Well, then there we go. Then why are you annoyed?
I'm not annoyed.
I'm annoyed because I'm just annoyed because I hate their gimmick. That's always. Mine's always going to come down to I can't stand the gimmick.
Eric, you're gonna hate SmackDown.
I mean,
I already said that I'm not watching anything as long as Xavier Woods has the King gimmick. So
no, I mean
the main event was the Usos versus the New Day.
Oh, I'm gonna watch
Shit, don't tell me the New Day won the titles.
Oh, it wasn't for the title.
Oh, thank God.
Me and Eric I was gonna say different. He likes Balor is always gonna be like generic wrestler WWE. That's just how I see it.
Well, yeah, Dom loves the funny stuff. Eric hates the funny stuff. I'm more in the middle. I'm more than the middle. I hated this is the thing. Like, I hated the Dynamite sketch. Like, I thought that Dynamite thing was so stupid. I think they went a little too over the top. I hated. So they did a similar thing on SmackDown tonight with Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss against Shinsuke
and Boogs.
But Pat McAfee's commentary just put it over the top for me. I liked it, but like you usually don't like those type of matches just because, like, I don't know, it takes away from it.
Yeah, because what it is and why Dom and I never see eye to eye. And I'm not saying this might sound like an insult, but it's not. This is literally what it is. Is I'm a fan of wrestling and Dom's a fan of sports entertainment, and that's not an insult. That's just what it is. I like the serious stuff. I like the wrestling part. Dom likes the entertainment part, and that's fine. It's weird. That's just why Dom and I never. That's why Dom and I very rarely agree on things.
Because that would I think you would be more of an AEW fan than a WWE fan because they pride themselves more on wrestling.
They say they do.
But
just because they put on more,
but the thing about
I do agree that AEW's matches are better, but their segments are goddamn unwatchable, and their booking and their booking is honestly at this point atrocious.
Like, yeah, if you put AEW and WWE together and say, hey, we want one match, your best wrestling. AEW has the better wrestlers, but I would almost say that WWE could put on a better show than that. Because AEW sometimes they go too long. Sometimes AEW just goes like 50 minutes every fucking match.
I mean, it's still hard to argue. What was it? All Out, maybe the best pay-per-view from this year.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. What was the?
I really enjoyed SummerSlam. I really liked SummerSlam.
Not more than All Out. No, not for me. No.
Was All Out when MJF lost to Chris Jericho?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck that. Then fuck that show.
Okay.
I also really like. So honestly, WWE's last couple shows I've really enjoyed. Like, I like SummerSlam. I love Crown Jewel. I don't know. What to pick
SummerSlam was
for this.
okay. I think it didn't live up to expectation for me.
WrestleMania was really good.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Money in the Bank was pretty good.
it was okay.
So yeah, I think we've gotten lucky with pay-per-views. I don't. When's the last like stinker of a pay-per-view we've
Royal
gotten?
Rumble was
Like,
pretty meh.
Yeah, there was probably a bad pay-per-view earlier this year.
Rumble was
well,
meh.
yeah, there definitely was, but like I can't remember it like in the past like couple months.
Rumble was meh.
We're getting what is it called? Full Gear? Full Gear, right?
Yeah, Full Gear's in 2 weeks, just about.
I
Yeah.
thought
A
it
little
was
over 2
November-
weeks. 13th,
when-
right?
I thought it was the 6th.
Oh, man,
Or the
I thought it was
7th.
13th. I could be wrong. I thought
It's probably the 13th. I thought.
Let me Full Gear 2021. It's on the 13th.
Okay, so in 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
All
Let's see how
this.
that goes.
Oh, it's a Saturday too.
Everyone wants to move to Saturday.
I mean, it's so much. Well, you get more viewers if you move to Saturday.
Yeah.
People don't have
Honestly,
work the next day.
probably is a smarter choice.
And so before we drift too far off topic, just to bring it back so we can wrap this up really quick. So we do so that was episode 3 of Fantasy Booking. We do have, so our list did contain 10. We do technically still have one more topic that I believe we agreed that next week we're all 3 going to book the same thing.
Oh boy.
I
which
think
was-
I think we should hold off on that for like the week after, because I wanted to do that like draft thing where we draft our perfect wrestler.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
Do you want to explain that since that's coming up next week?
So basically, there's like 6 things. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Well, I know it's been a while since I see.
Yeah, so while he looks, I'll explain. So essentially, this was Cody's idea, and we all loved it. So Cody came up with 5 or 6 like traits that make up a great pro wrestler / sports entertainer. And essentially, what it was going to be is we do a snake draft where like if Dom's the first pick, he gets the first pick to pick some Cody, you can take it from there.
So basically, it says build your perfect wrestler. If you can put each wrestler's abilities into one person for each category, which wrestlers in history do you choose? Mic skills, technical, high flying skills, wrestling IQ, drawing power, connection with the fans, the look. So basically, I'm gonna just use it. Say we do the order. I'm first, Dom second, Eric third. I get the first pick. I pick Mike Skills. I'm gonna say Nia Jax because I don't want to give any picks away. I pick Nia Jax. Nia Jax is no longer available for anybody for any category. So
for any category, okay.
Yeah, she's off the board completely. So basically, and then Dom would go, then Eric would go, and it's a snake draft. So Eric would take 2 picks in a row after that. So
Hornswoggle for look.
I already know what I want for a couple of them.
I do too.
You have to choose wisely because like if you want someone for Mike Skills, like you don't know if they're gonna last the rest. And I see who can put back the best wrestler. I feel like that'd be really.
You guys are not gonna like mine because I'm gonna pick wrestlers you guys never heard of, or that Cody's never heard of.
I'll probably have heard of most of them.
Like Mike Skills, you're gonna pick someone from Japan.
No, because why would I pick somebody from Japan? They barely use the mic.
Okay, exactly. So like most of them.
I think I know who Dom's gonna pick for high flying skills if he has first pick.
No, how would you know?
Because I feel like you pick Will Ospreay.
I don't want to talk about picks. I don't want to give anything
I'm not
away.
gonna pick Will Ospreay's
Okay.
goofy ass.
Yeah, so that's what we have.
But most of the stuff is like it's hard to pick. I guess you could pick the look, but there's like I feel like there's a one perfect pick for the look of a professional wrestler.
Yeah,
like
honestly,
one person has it. Yeah. So
I already know the look one is probably gonna be my first pick, to be honest.
The look one, I want to say like I know exactly who I'm gonna pick for look, but I don't know if I'd take the first pick because I'm thinking like you motherfuckers might be thinking the same person.
I'm not even I wouldn't pick the thing I want first. I would pick the thing that I think you two would take first, and you guys are gonna take my pick.
Yeah,
and that's why I think the person I want for a look, I'm like, would you motherfuckers really take this guy?
Veer for look.
Yeah, Veer for. Why can I only take Veer once? Can I just pick Veer for everything?
Yeah, you can pick Veer for. You can only pick Veer if you're picking him for every category.
All right, so that's what we have coming up next Friday, and then the following Friday we're each going to be booking booking it. It's the WWE, or it's the WWE and NXT World Championship unification match. So it is I made this mistake when we came up with the.
It's not NXT. It's just the WWE unification. So I thought.
Oh yes, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
it's
was thinking about what I got.
unification.
I was thinking about what I got confused of. It's the WWE and Universal Championship unification match. So I made this mistake when we came up with the ideas. It's different than the winner take all that Cody booked today, because that was kind of more of a Survivor Series type of take. This is going to be or at least how I'm assuming it's going to go. We're going to be booking it differently, but more along the lines of a champion versus champion feud.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
And then after that, I assume we're going to just brainstorm 9 or 10 more scenarios to continue.
So yeah, we have Full Gear in 2 weeks. So we're gonna do predictions on the review, all that stuff. I'm really like, I just hate that it's probably gonna be Danielson versus Moxley at Full Gear.
That's gonna be a bad match. I'll tell you right now.
I don't think it's gonna be a bad match because Bryan Danielson can do a match with almost anybody. So
you'll see. It depends. It depends on if Moxley makes Danielson have a Moxley match, it's gonna suck, and I guarantee it. But if they decide,
are they gonna wait 2 weeks? Are they gonna really wait 2 weeks to have that championship, that finals match? Because
apparently that's what they did last year.
Because isn't the semifinals on Wednesday or Friday? It's one of those 2 days. But yeah,
sure that's what they did last time.
I think we should try to wrap it up here because it's midnight now.
I'm tired.
We will be back tomorrow for SmackDown. I didn't watch Rampage and record it, so I can't talk about Rampage. But,
it's so fine. It's fine.
But for Russell Point, that is.